think as we see lots more cheaper, more powerful devices, it's a huge opportunity now, particularly if you start moving event processing down to the gateway level. The reality is that all of these devices are going to generate huge amounts of data. The big question is, how do you make sure it becomes intelligent data, and how do you move the data that you really need? By embedding event processing down at the gateway level, it allows that to happen. It fundamentally changes the way the device to data center actually works. There's a lot of discussion going on about big data, and that's completely correct, because we're talking about large amounts of structured and unstructured data. But we also need to recognize that in reality the value of that data actually declines over time if you don't take action on it. So fast data is fundamentally important. So you've got to architect your platform to allow you to be able to make appropriate decisions in the time that you need to make those decisions, as close to real time, and in some cases in real time. Fast data is just as important as big data. It's about the analysing of that data, but also about how do you actually make sure that you get the decisions quickly, fast data. The key in terms of making sure that with all these millions of devices that you take the data and you make sure that you get something from it is having a plan, having an architecture, having a platform where you can take in that data, you can analyse it very, very quickly, but you can also take action on it. You've got to architect that solution. You've got to make sure that your platform has got the scalability. You've got to plan for wild success, because that's the way that things are going to go. The amount of data is going to grow at least twice every year. You've got to plan way out from what you're seeing today to make that to be successful. I think it's very clear now that people in the M2M market understand that it's about innovation. It's about providing an environment so that you can look at the business in terms of developing that business and giving people the business value at the end user end. You've got to be able to think about this in terms of what could be achieved, not necessarily just automating the things that are going on. It's really important that people think about the technology, but only think about it in terms of delivering a business result and being able to think about that innovation and what they could be doing. I would suggest that people in the M2M market need to think much more about the future and where they're going, rather than just the efficiency of today and driving up for new opportunities for both revenue and for success. I think reducing time to market and allowing innovation is actually about not worrying about each individual device and having to write to each individual device. One of the reasons that we think Java is a fundamental part of the whole M2M ecosystem, the device to data ecosystem, is because actually with Java you write once, you deploy many times. You don't have to continually go back and rewrite, whether it be for Java card, down on SIM cards, all the way back through the devices, through the gateways, all the way through to the middleware. It's all the same with Java. It allows people to do the innovation that they need to do at the application layer, which is where the business value actually sits. And we want to encourage people to use a standard platform to allow them to become highly successful at innovating in their marketplace.